So you're watching this video to find out the true cost of a DUI case. I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's figure out the numbers. So the first thing I should say is it's gonna vary by state and location. Like, I gotta give you that disclaimer. Like any good lawyer, I'm gonna tell you it depends. Misdemeanor, felony, first time, not the first time, accident, injuries, location, all those things really, really matter, but I'm gonna do my best here to break it down for you. First, you used to have to post a bond or could have had to post a bond when you were arrested. Here in Illinois, cash bond was eliminated, and so unless you killed someone or have a whole bunch of prior DUIs, you're going to just get released. So you don't have to post any cash bond amount. Saved you $1 there, that's good. So next is you get released and you gotta get your car back. More likely than not, the police seized and impounded your vehicle. They took it to the tow yard, right? Now, most of the time you can just go get that back, but it's going to cost you. Here in Chicago, if it's in the suburbs or the Illinois State Police, they charge you about $500 impoundment fee plus about $250 for the tow fee, right? The tow company's got to make theirs off of you. So $750. But unfortunately, if you were arrested in the city of Chicago, they charge you $2,200. It's ridiculous. It's the highest I've ever heard of, but there's your range. Maybe call it $750 on the low end, $2,200 frickin' dollars if Chicago police arrested you. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is you're probably gonna wanna hire a lawyer. I mean, you may even wanna do that sooner. I have people that call us as they're walking out of the police station, no joke. What's an attorney gonna cost you? Again, it depends. And if you talk to 10 different lawyers, you're probably gonna get 10 different prices. Unfortunately though, you're also gonna get 10 different levels of service. So it really depends what you want. If you are not as concerned and you're looking for a low-cost solution, those are out there. That's all I'll say about that. There's also some very overpriced lawyers that are out there and you just don't get more for that price. Obviously, you want to find the sweet spot where you have an experienced lawyer, knows what the heck they're doing, highly rated, and charges a fair price. What's that fair price? Well, it depends, right? Like if it's your 5th DUI and you ran somebody over and killed them, I mean, you're spending a whole lot more. It's the top end can be in a reckless homicide can be $50,000 or more, right? So, but on average, normal first-time DUI, even a second-time DUI, I would put your range somewhere between $3,500 and $6,000. If you have a lawyer doing that for less than $3,500, I would be really, really nervous that they are cutting corners. So if you're trying to figure out how to hire a good quality lawyer for a fair price, well, I've written some things on that. We have some videos on that. So click in the description of this video and we'll link to those. So another major issue is your driver's license. Typically, after a DUI arrest, the Illinois Secretary of State is going to suspend your license. And so as lawyers, we are going to try to overturn or undo that suspension of their license. We are successful at it many times, but it's not guaranteed, right? If you are suspended, now we got to go to Plan B. Well, what is Plan B? Many times you may be eligible for what's called an MDDP, Monitoring Device Driving Permit here in the state of Illinois. It's basically where you get that breathalyzer installed in your car, and as long as you're driving that car and you've got that permit, you've got that breathalyzer, you can drive anytime, day or night, legally, so you can go to work, go to the grocery store, take the kids to school. You just have to do it with that permit and that device in that car. We help our clients do that. We at no cost, no additional cost. We help all of our clients do that, but of course, that permit, that device is going to cost you. On average, it's about $100 a month. So say that's a 12-month suspension. That's going to cost you $1,200, plus give or take about $400 in monitoring. So $1,600 you're at now for a 12-month suspension. Cut that roughly in half if it's a 6-month suspension. Now, it should be no surprise then that, a DUI case can cost you in terms of fines and fees in court. Depends on the outcome of your case. If your case is dismissed or if you are found not guilty at trial, then you've got no fines and fees associated with that. That's wonderful. And that happens. We win DUI trials all the time, but not all of them, right? And nobody does. If you are found guilty or you plead guilty to the DUI or similar charges in court, there's going to be fines and fees levied against you. I will tell you that the maximum on a misdemeanor is a $2,500 fine plus court costs. Call it $1,500 for court costs. It's $2,500 fine, $1,500 court costs. That's a maximum of $4,000 in fines and fees on this DUI case. It can also be much lower than that. It can be zero, right? Especially if you beat your case. There may be a court-required drug and alcohol evaluation. That's gonna cost you about $250, $300 to do that. It's basically like it sounds. It's an evaluation. You sit down with a third party and they will write up an evaluation that then gets submitted to the court. You're the one who's gotta pay for that. There can be classes, right? Drug and alcohol treatment classes, depending on how many it takes. Some people take 10 hours, some people have to take 75 hours. You pay per hour, right? So it can vary widely there. So call it on the low end, $1,000 for that, $100 an hour, 10 hours, all the way up to a whole lot more than that. All right, so I want to leave no stone unturned in this, and one of the final fees that you typically pay on something like this would be a reinstatement fee. So if your license is suspended because of a DUI, another fee that the Secretary of State charges you is a reinstatement fee. That can be $250 or even $500 depending on their circumstances. All right, so if you've been furiously writing these numbers down on the back of an envelope, I will say put that envelope down. You're not gonna get a perfect answer. But as someone who has handled thousands of DUIs in our law firm, I'm gonna put it at $9,000, right? That's hiring a lawyer, that's getting your car to the impoundment, that is doing an evaluation, some classes, dealing with the driver's license issue. You may have to have that BAID device in your car. That's a ballpark. It can go way lower than that. It can also go way, way higher than that. I'm doing my best here, guys, to give you an estimate without knowing a single thing about your case. So I hope you find this helpful. Please read my disclaimer that this can vary wildly, but I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, like and subscribe, call our office for information. We'd be happy to help you.